niggas be late, and I don't like it when niggas be late, so I be trying not to be late and shit. So.
Alright, we live right now. She would call me as soon as I go live, wouldn't she?
You
Hold
ringing
on,
out the Rome?
Too.
Matter of fact, let me go ahead and mute my shit, bro, so we don't fuck up the shit with it, you know? Put that bitch on vibrate.
Alright, so we are live. It says that we live. We good to go. Panda, are you gonna activate your video?
I am. I'm setting up right now. Give me a second, please.
Oh, I forgot you was late, my bad.
Oh shit!
Y'all be wanting me to cut the fuck up in this establishment, but I ain't gonna do it.
We would never want you to cut the fuck up in this establishment.
Okay,
Bro, I gotta get my second screen, man, going, because this is not the wave, cuzzo.
Yeah, I need a third screen. So when I saw everybody, I'm finna tweet this out too to our patrons that we live and shit. Let me get to the potty page. So I've been watching some streamers trying to prepare for this and work out a little flow. And
moment, GB.
What'd you say?
I said all your training has prepared you for this moment.
All of my training has brought me to this moment. I feel like a young 12-year-old MC, and I'm trying to take on all the big villain streamers and shit with my one technique that I know, and I'm hoping that it's effective. You feel me?
I gotta move that shit, bro. That's not swag. I'll be right back.
Okay. And I am.
Okay.
Not Warren giving the full view of the house. Oh, Warren, you moved, didn't it?
Oh boy!
Look at this light. Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all missed that shit. I almost bust my ass, bro.
I saw.
What's up, Rome? Romaine?
Is it required to be on camera tonight? Because
I mean,
You out here
it would
ugly.
help. I mean, I ain't got a haircut, so you see me with the scully on. Looking fly
Yeah,
as
bro.
fuck, boy.
I ain't had no haircut either, bro. We all out here looking bogus.
Man, shut up, Eugene. You got niggas to braid your hair every day, bro. Like, I'm not hearing that. Bro, I'm talking about, yeah, it's just, I woke up like some slight, you know, my hair not where it needs to be, but you know, like you didn't braid your hair before this.
You know how much physical work you got to put in to get free rays constantly? Are you even aware of the amount of work and the pain and the trials and the tribulations that I've had to go through to earn these braids, G? Don't diminish.
He pledged for his braids, bro. Fuck out of here.
Don't diminish my
You
struggles,
online
bro.
for having braids? The fuck?
You said what?
You was online for having braids? This nigga said trials and
Basically.
tribulations for sure.
I am online for having braids.
shit,
I'll be on the wall. I'll be on the wall every night.
Oh, okay. Spit your info real quick, GB. I want to see some.
Switch my what?
Spit your info real quick. I want to see some since you online and shit.
Boy, I don't spit shit for other organizations.
Nigga, we on the same order. What do you mean? I've been natural to have braids longer than you have had hair. Don't do that.
You ain't got no braids in.
I can put braids in my hair. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody feel like they could put braids in their hair, but everybody can't put braids in their hair. Fewer calls.
Don't fucking play with me like I ain't had hair longer than you have. Don't do that.
Look, with this braid life,
One thing about certain
get
parts of the
called, let's
blackness,
get
they got
chosen.
hair.
We do got
Who
hair.
asked you one? Who asked?
We come out the womb with a full,
Okay.
you know, golden black mane. You know what I'm saying?
Talk
Like
about one.
blown in the
Oh, yeah.
wind.
You barely have hair,
we got
so
new.
Nah, what
graduates
you
in the
mean?
chat.
My hair thick as a bitch. Don't do that.
that's why
You see
got
my
your hat
niece's
on.
hair? Her shit's thick as fuck too.
Is that why you have your hat on? Because your line.
I got my hat on because I got no haircut. That's why.
That's what all I heard was your line for.
Never that. My line crispy. Stop
Your
it.
line got pushed back, didn't it? It's okay.
No.
Hey y'all, say hello to our first patron that pulled up to this private live stream. We got Ked in the chat.
Hey, how do we? What am I gonna look at the stream? Cause Twitch, or what?
Hold on. Let me drop the link. It's a private
bro.
link. So I'm
need
gonna
some
drop it in
Panda
Discord,
ears.
but don't share this with nobody.
Wait. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna play the
this is
first series on
privately
Facebook.
streamed.
Now recording.
Bro, I was like, who are these random niggas pulling up? I'm tweaking.
All right, bro. I'll drop the link in the Discord, so if y'all want to follow along,
I can
on the
interact.
stream.
That's what I need my other screen
Got
for,
it.
bro. I gotta get my monitors, all types of. I need everything
Alright.
for this crib, cuz like I'm just down bad right now. Like you said, being broke sucks, man.
I
He
definitely
said
did.
the stream looked good, so bet. Roma, you
I
setting
just
up?
okay.
Oh, it's KJ. What up, KJ?
Hey kid.
Ow! Gangster.
Boy, your
Gang's
shit.
here.
Does his shit look pixelated to y'all?
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Look at this like face though, like this skin, like oh my god. Yeah, like
Oh, damn, yeah, bro. You pixelated as hell, bro. The stream
Yeah,
behind and
bro.
everything. Okay.
Yeah, bro. You
it's a
looking
little
like
better now. It's a little better now on my end.
Oh
You
yeah,
just-
yeah.
you just pissed
Bro
Rome
got
off,
the-
G.
What?
So basically just turn my camera off. Tell him I'm too ugly for this camera now.
Nah, bro. I'm too ugly for the camera. And also, I think I am gonna blur my background. I don't know if T will want. The,
No, you straight. You valid.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
gotta
If
blur my background. I don't know what y'all seeing.
Oh, it like rotates my shit, bro. I don't like that. If
rotate?
it mirrors it in the stream video.
Alright, y'all. Looks like we got everything done. I got my YouTube is running, stream is live. We're recording the audio. Yeah. Can I still? Yup. All right. Bet.
Can I just pop a chat out like I do on Twitch or something? Like, what's up? I just want to pop a chat out.
Go to general and you just gotta click on
Hey,
Here
general.
we go. I
Kid-
see it. It's pop out chat. I see it. I got it.
Kid said your durag crispy though, wrong.
Oh, appreciate that, my guy. You know, I gotta keep the hair looking nice and fresh and clean all the time.
What you got in right now? You got in some twists.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You don't got
They're
that
they're like
that
Rico,
velvet
bro.
that velvet do rag. You don't got that
Oh,
joint.
I do have the velvet do rag. Don't test me. I
You
have
don't got the velvet joint, Rom. You're not cool with that velvet joint. Stop
Bro,
it.
So-
what? Hold up, stop.
So when we get to the point where we start doing intermissions and like Rome dip to change his durag, that's gonna have to be a pod staple on video going forward. All right. I think everybody's sound look good. Streamlabs seem to be capturing all y'all sound.
Oh, Rom, we about to change his shit, huh?
Let's see.
Smoking all this
I'm
shit,
bullied
bro.
Roman to changing his do rag, son.
Getting my fucking velvet shit ready. I don't know where it is.
Yo. Okay, that's good. All right. It felt like I ain't had that much to really panic about when it came to the stream. I was really freaking the fuck
Your
out.
shit ain't blurred, by the way, cuzzo.
Y'all just told me don't blur it.
No, I said you could. I said you was valid.
All right. Cool.
With the velvet.
We got that
Alright,
blue
y'all.
velvet too.
Oh, I like
Look
that
at
blue
that
velvet.
nice blue velvet. You know about this.
I got
just
black
you.
one that shits on it, bro. You know.
The only thing, my head is too
Not
big.
the
So.
battle of the do-rag.
Ugh.
Listen, man. Don't give me like 10 minutes to brush my shit back in, throw my shit on, bro.
If
I
y'all do all
hope,
that,
I hope
then
they
you're
don't mess
ready.
up your lining any more than it already is.
My line is stay crispy, Panda. Don't do that.
Why you got the hat on then if it stay crispy?
Cause I don't have a haircut.
Oh, so
All right,
it's
y'all.
not
Y'all
crispy
ready?
right
Y'all
now.
ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Is anybody nervous? Like I'm nervous. I'm the only one that's nervous in this bitch.
Yeah, you the only one that's nervous because of, you know what I'm
Why
saying?
would-
This is regular shit.
Should I be nervous? What are we about to do right now?
I don't know, bro. We're just
We-
live, I guess.
I mean,
but
we live streaming. This our first video that we trying to do as a podcast. Like this is big steps that we taking here, and I feel like I'm alone and feeling nervous maybe because I don't share enough of how much of this journey took. I've been reading books.
Read a books.
niggas don't
bro.
read, word
You
dependent.
know niggas don't read, bro. I've been
Yeah.
reading books. I've been doing practice, like little practice streams and shit. I crashed my computer a couple times. I don't care what nobody say, no matter how many Streamlab videos that you watch on fucking YouTube, bro.
It's
The
not gonna
setup,
help, yeah.
the setup is never the same on your PC, and no matter what you do, you just be sitting there like, bro, I need to find someone that has the exact equipment that I have to be able to get the stream correct. And it never works out that way. I've been mad frustrated with trying to get all that shit set up, but like when I finally hit a point on Sunday where I was like, I think I can actually do this. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run one more test tomorrow. The test yesterday went good. And then tonight, I was just super nervous all day at work. Like, what if I get there, bro, and then the shit not working or it don't happen how I want it to happen? So, like, I'm really glad that we done made it through the first 5 minutes of this shit, and none of this shit has crashed. Everything seems to be recording. My audio tracking, Craig and this bitch. The videos look clear and crispy. Rome got the sequin do-rag on. May change to the velvet in the second half of tonight's podcast. We got Panda out here with the beautiful curly hair, stunning all you natural hair bitches. Cousin went here with the fucking crew neck that I fucking love. I don't know where you got free smoke from.
Oh, you know, I got from Schultz.
With the Newport colors? This nigga Schultz is a fucking genius, bro.
I got the fashion shorts too.
You got the shorts?
Yeah, bro.
I be hating on you, bro. I hate that you live a hype beast life that I kind of want to live, but I really don't want to live because I don't want to get into blowing all my bread on clothes. But fuck that.
It's facts.
Let's do this episode. I'm about ready. This is Captain's Log. What's today? This is Captain's Log 877. For the first time ever, I've been able to get the motherfucking pod stream situation together, and we are currently doing our first private live stream for the podcast. So a nigga is really geeked up. What better way to do this than to talk about heroes today? This was a topic that was brought to me by the crewmate Panda the Dawn, and she was really excited to get into the morality of heroes. I guess she read a story, and either she was fucking with the hero, or she wasn't fucking with the hero. And if I remember correctly, we did have this weird-ass conversation on a Twitter space about anti-villains and anti-heroes, and that was pretty confusing because niggas didn't know the difference. So hopefully we can cover a couple of those things in today's episode, but without further ado, we finna get into this shit. Yo, what's up, Supernovas, and welcome back to the Worst Generation podcast. This is our absolute first live stream. I've already talked about it in the Captain's Log, but y'all finna get this shit again. This is our first private live stream. I'm excited for it. This has been a long time coming, and we hope to do this going forward, depending on how difficult it is for me to do this week to week. So, like I said, this is a big moment. First and foremost, I am going to introduce the crew because you can see all these niggas on the screen right now, so it makes no sense for me to continue the episode without introducing everybody. First up, we got my man looking like he was transmitting from an Atari camera. It's mad pixelated, but the do-rag is cripsy and it's red. That's some bullshit, GB. The do-rag is crispy. My man Master D.
It's actually a pink do-rag, so we don't throwing up them big B's out here. We're throwing them big C's out here.
Yo, do-rag pink?
But
I fucking hate it here.
does that not look pink to you?
No, that shit look red to me on my computer screen, but it could be my settings.
It's a little red.
It's a little red.
Well, let's just call it salmon to make it everyone happy. But what's going on, Supernovas? It's me, Master D, aka Pandemic D, aka Mr. I painted her walls and Plan B didn't work, but there's always a Plan D, aka Dress to Destroy, aka Nigga Roam with a Dense Bone, aka Kuroko the Forgotten One, aka Let Me Clear My Throat. Hello, Voice Vision Hotline. This is Master D speaking. How may I help you? Welcome back again to a wonderful episode brought to you by the Worst Generation Podcast and sponsored by Patreon. Hope you had all after a wonderful night, and we're here again to bring you a wonderful episode brought to you by me. And everybody else here too.
Brought to y'all by Master D. We might have to have this nigga host. I 100% underestimated how funny this shit was gonna be, seeing all y'all faces while we was podding for the first time. I did not imagine that that's how you finna fucking clear your throat every time, and I don't know that I'm looking forward to that. But it's dope as hell to see you go through your intro. Can I say I especially love that you hold your mic like a 70s talk show host and you just be in this bitch vibing like this, like chilling.
I mean, I don't want to put it down because then it's gonna go all over the place and it's gonna knock out. I'm official out here. You won't hold like a gangster. Like, yo, what's up? Like I'm
You don't
rapping.
got a mic stand, nigga?
Hey, hold it to the
I
side.
do actually.
Hold it to the
I
side.
do have a mic stand. I have a mic stand and everything, but I just don't want to set it up. So I just hold the mic to my hand because
Hold it
that we
like
can put
a
it down.
gangster.
Nigga out here like a
No,
game show
so-
host and shit.
Just know I'm ready.
Alright, bro. You bad at tits.
I'm tired.
Next up on the pod, since we do have video, I've been excited to see this man do a video intro for a long time. We kind of got a snippet back in the day, and that shit was mad lit. But for the first time ever on what will be a public episode, maybe in a month or so, once the videos hit YouTube, we got my boy, that boy Frankie.
Yo, what's good, Supernovas? Get your shit up. It's time for that season auto slander. It's the Superman of Metropolis, the Batman of Gotham, the man who told the Grinch there will be no Christmas. It's me, that boy, Frankie, hitting y'all with that super. And as always, urban for the casual anime fan, what's good, pod?
Let's go. Shout out to you because the acoustics is mad different in the new
Acoustics.
apartment. You got
Yeah.
it's got like a totally different sound. I think because you had carpet in the last joint, and
Yeah.
now it's looking like you got
It's
hardwood
hardwood.
floors. Yeah, that shit bouncing, but it's making your voice just like reverberate. Is that the proper
Excellent.
terminology?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got a lot of
yeah.
reverb in it. I gotta figure the setup out in here still, but yeah, I'm loving it.
I feel that shit, man. Congratulations. Last but certainly not least, one of the crowd favorites. Damn, I got the hiccups and shit.
You mean,
Last but not
person here?
least, one of the crowd favorites,
celebrity?
the most famous person on the podcast, the most recognizable face in the Twitter community, wearing her brand new panda fur crew neck. Look at that shit. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's luscious in the camera.
Ooh.
The host of For the Love of Panda, you may know her from Twitter Spaces, her popular show. We are now going
Let's
on
go.
episode 3. First lady of the pod, Panda the Don.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Panda the Nine, better known as the OG Panda, better known as Pitbull Panda, better known as Panda with the hammer, better known as Panda on the water, better known as the Haikyuu ambassador. What's up,
Wait!
y'all?
Where's the hammer? Where's the hammer? I didn't hear no banging.
Y'all didn't
Whoa,
hear me
say
bang?
nothing wrong. Nah,
No, I didn't hear
come
you
through.
bang.
It didn't come through,
Damn.
bro.
Hold on, let me try this again. Better known as Panda with the hammer.
Nah, B.
No,
that
it
shit not picking
seems
up.
like
Yo,
I think the mic is like auto canceling out the sound.
Yeah,
Damn,
your
it's been
mic's doing a good
defeated.
job of being a good microphone. You upgraded your life, and so it downgraded your swag a little bit, but
The
it's
same
for the
headphones
better.
I've been using for the past couple of years.
I was trying to, give you some credit, but okay.
Maybe it's got something
Maybe
to
just
do with
tap
us
the mic.
being on video.
Okay, better known as Panda with the hammer.
Yeah, we gonna say that shit worked, and we just gonna keep moving on with the episode 'cause that
Boom.
shit ain't work
Okay.
either.
I hate it here.
Last but not least, I mean, we already introduced Panda, but I never really give myself an intro except for the first part of the podcast. But I'm super excited about something. I actually got like fake proposed to by my lady, and since we is on video, I can't show y'all my silicone ring. I'm balling.
Ooh.
I'm balling.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm really excited about this silicone ring because I do work in the office, but I also have to work in the field a lot, and I don't get to wear like regular jewelry and rings out there all the time because you can damage the shit. And so we went back and forth because she like, when I give you the wedding band, you can't just not wear it. And I'm like, well, damn, I don't want to like destroy my shit when I go into the field. And she's like,
you
you
got
can't
it.
just not wear it. So I was like, can we settle on just getting me like a silicone ring that you like and that I like, and we could be lit together? And so she got me a little silicone ring. It's a little joint. I wore it to work today. Feeling like a bad bitch, you know. It means that somebody
Showing
loves
the
you.
hand off. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look at my hand.
I've
He's
been
like,
fake,
oh,
you
what
know.
time is it? Oh,
What?
It means and shit like, yeah, man, I don't even know how I feel about this, scratching my neck for no reason and shit.
Boy, that mad shit, you know you right-handed.
I might even do like her when I say goodbye to people, just, all right
Like,
now, see y'all.
Bye-bye. Toodles.
I might do that shit. I really don't know how to go about being a fiance. So I'm learning as I go. Bear with me, people. I may fuck this shit up. And hopefully we just keep going. Cause I be learning little shit like, so the other day we was talking about it, and these old black women had told her like, back in the day, you couldn't let people sweep your feet. Like if somebody was sweeping like a barbershop or
Oh
some
yeah.
shit, if people sweep
Yeah.
past your feet or sweep your feet, then
Bad luck.
that means like a man will never come and sweep you off your feet. Like some superstitious shit like that. It's so much shit that go into weddings and stuff that I never heard of that I sit around sometimes and be like, how is all
Never
this shit
heard of that.
traditions?
Hmm.
Also, I found
That's
another
why they jump over
tradition.
the broom.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do that either. I don't know if that's us because
You're not gonna jump over the broom.
I don't know.
What
Like
about
we not.
what about breaking the glass? I know. What was it? I think the Jewish they break the glass like under the cloth. I don't know what that symbol.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've
I don't
seen
know
that
what it's
too,
for.
but
But
I don't know.
I was just like, that's a lot of
I
weird
don't.
traditions.
I don't know if that's really our move. We not really traditional in
Mm.
that sense. So we trying to really figure out what matrimony looks like to us, and we want to do something that's gonna be unique to us the whole way through. So that is one thing I'm happy for. That through and through, we've been ourselves in the process so far, and I hope that we can continue to do that because it's a lot of pressure from external forces. It's like, well, y'all got to do this, y'all got to do that. It's not this if it doesn't have that. And for me, it's kind of like, fuck y'all niggas, man. I don't give a fuck. Like I want to do this, but I know that my personality and my approach to a lot of things is not always the right answer. So GB be trying to chill. I've been just sipping juice and just relaxing while niggas is getting in their bed.
Shout out to Mike sipping juice.
Shout out to that nigga Mike, man. Housekeeping items. First up, gotta promote the pod. So I'm gonna tell everybody, make sure that y'all go to the Worst Gen Pod website. It's a lot of cool shit there. You can check out the entire page. There are easy links for you to follow so that you can get in tune with the pod. You can check out us on all the podcast streaming platforms. Subscribe to our newsletter. Hit us up on Patreon. Download the Anime and Manga user guide. You can also find out about the crew. We're all listed on there, so you can find out little tidbits about us, like our top three, what our favorite animes, our characters are, and also some of our best episodes that we've been featured on audio-wise. Don't forget to go over to the shop, check out our merch. We got T-shirts, we got book bags, we got Mercer's fanny packs that I don't have mine on me right now, but yeah, there
I
you
got
go,
mine
product
though.
placement in the motherfucking picture. And then last but not least, you definitely can check out our Patreon and support us from the website too. If you want to get these video episodes early as fuck, like you're a first timer that's just now coming over to our podcast, check out the video episodes on the Patreon, and you can get these like day of as we stream live. That's it for that promotion right there. I also want to talk about Anime After Dark, as everyone knows we do those every Wednesday, 9:30 CST. That shit be lit. If you're East Coast, I know that's hard for y'all to make. I feel that.
Big
So
hard.
you could always pull up for the pregame that happens at 8:45 CST. And the pregame is nuts. It's mad energy in the pregame. We got DJ Mike Unbothered. Is it DJ Unbothered? DJ Unbothered
I thought it was
on
DJ
Mike
Bother.
Unbothered. It's
DJ Mike Unbothered. He's going with the whole name. Okay, we got DJ Mike Unbothered on the ones and twos. He goes crazy with all the music, all the playlists in the pregame. He's got these very special drops from Moody, and she went absolutely nuts. So definitely pull up to the pregame and do the damn thing. Speaking of Moody,
I will
shout
be
out to
rapping.
shout out to our patrons. Shout out to Moody. Shout out to Ked. Shout out to Malcolm. Shout out to all the Worst Gen crew that supports us. Shout out to who else is at that $10 tier that'll be getting these videos regularly. Oh well, that's Glove, and he a patron member. So shout out to Glove, man. We appreciate all y'all. Thank y'all for supporting the pod. We couldn't have made it this far without you guys. And also, and last thing I want to talk about housekeeping is Panda mentioned in her intro on the water. If you
what does that
guys want to
mean?
know what on the water means, Lost Tapes Volume 2 is on the way soon. We putting the audio together right now. Hilarious conversation between me, Panda, and Sensei, so y'all can see us embarrass the fuck out of ourselves and expose our age and our singing voices. So yeah, be in tune for Lost Tapes Volume 2 coming soon. That's it for housekeeping. Let's get into this fucking episode, man. What y'all been reading and watching this week?
Oh, I have to
Same shit.
I have to catch up on. I haven't read any like of JJK, Sakamoto Days,
Yeah.
fucking Solo Leveling, Tokyo Revengers, I'm Dead Unluck, and My Hero and stuff since like last Sunday. I've been distracted. I started, y'all I'm still like in the throes of my new job and stuff, so I'm starting to be more proactive. Um,
Congratulations.
so thanks. I have like 3 appointments tomorrow, so I have to do
Mm,
review and treatment plans with kids and parents. So I'm being more proactive in that matter, but I haven't really read much. I've been reading my webcomics. I've catch up on that really well. This is actually the first time I turned on my computer in like over a week, so it's been a minute. But I've been watching, keeping up with my anime for this season. So Jobless Reincarnation, World's Finest Assassin, Restaurant to Another World Season 2, Platinum Man, The Faraway Paladin, and Banished from the Heroes Party. I started A Quiet Life in the Country, and I've also started Nichijou. Well, I'm on episode 16, well 17, which is okay. It's getting not repetitive, but like I don't know. It's just it's
not
not.
hitting what you used to.
I'm ready to just finish it and just move on to something else.
Mm,
But yeah.
feel that. For me, this past week or past couple months has been kind of hectic for me between work, school, and just life in general. So I haven't been watching much like anime or reading as much. I keep up with One Piece every now and then. That's probably the only thing I'm consistent on. I did start reading Spy Family as well too. So I've been reading that as well. Now that new anime's coming out, I'm definitely gonna get tuned in. I read, I think, a few chapters of the My Hero as well too. Definitely been enjoying this new arc. Freaking Stars, shout out to Stars and Stripes. She's a fucking
Let's
beast.
go. She been
Oh,
going
she's
nuts.
fucking going nuts, bro. And I'm just like, what can't you do right now? Like, you got your eight strands and shit. You better than All Might. You might as well, dude. So I've been fucking with her.
Somebody asked would she beat All Might in the fight, and I feel like
I
her
didn't.
I feel like her ability is OP as fuck. Like she should
Mm,
be able to beat All Might in the fight, but she made the comment in one of the panels that she's not on the level of All Might, Prime All Might at least, which is
yeah,
like still unbelievable to me because her fucking power is OP. It's
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
OP as
Could
fuck.
be like it could be like she does idolize him, and it not may not be specifically his abilities and his power, but also just him as an icon in that universe that she hasn't
Mm,
made it to where he is. So it might
Mm-hmm.
That's
not
fair.
just be his abilities; it's also just him, like being as big as he is and as influential as he is. So it might
yeah.
just be that.
I
Yeah,
feel
because
that.
his influence definitely went bigger when he was traveling in America. Like just to save one little girl, like just one little incident. Now she's a number one hero in that country. So his impact has definitely reached the people deeply, and as for her to be the way she is now, she's definitely probably gonna be the next number one hero in the world, if not the best. Because her power is up here already, and she already commands respect from her people. Like I was reading the last panel. I remember she said, be ready, boys. Only one of you might make it home tonight. So like she knows that this is gonna be a deadly battle. That we might not all make it back home today, but just hold on with me. And she's just hopping from jet to jet. I cannot lie, she's really cool in my book, and so I've been enjoying that lately. Definitely want to see the My Hero movie there over the weekend, but didn't get a chance to go see it either. But
I
hopefully
forgot
this
about
much will
that
be
shit.
like you know, yeah, same life been just trash. And then I started another class today too, so I'm working doing a lot right now. Just started another second class, another 6 week class I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, all in
I
efforts to making more money. So let's go.
That's been the crazy thing about the pod because like we all life has been lifing for everybody. So like Panda started her new job and she picking up extra things. Cuzzo just moved and started a new job. We got Gloves is like doing wedding and everything he got going on in his personal life. You doing like 3 classes and working 2 jobs, and I don't think you've mentioned that you slept in like the past 2 weeks and shit when we talk on the phone. Me personally, like I spent the last month trying to get the podcast together for this part of our life, but then also working on I had to do all my professional recertifications last month. I had deadlines on them and the engagement. So like it's just been so much shit going on that it feels like it's been hard to coordinate. So I say all that to say I'm grateful that we've been able to be here and discuss Stars and Stripes being OP and beating the shit out of everybody. Do y'all think, without going into spoilers, just yes or no, y'all think Shiggy finna, or really all for one, y'all think that nigga finna own her?
I honestly feel like he might, just because the way he uses his powers is so damn effective and efficient. He knows how to properly use the right quirk like get the his opponent down. So and plus and when he figured out her quirk so fast and quickly,
Bro,
within the first
bro,
couple moves, he's like, okay, I understand it now. I know what she needs to do. Understand the fallbacks and drawbacks. I'm like, damn, nigga, she just got here.
she's only used the
So
bitch once.
Yeah,
one,
I think that she'll win this fight, but it's gonna take like he'll take his pound of flesh, and the only reason that he'll like even put up that fight is because she's gonna underestimate him somehow. Because like I just feel like she has some of that innate hubris you would have if you're at that level that none of these niggas can fuck with me, and the fact that he already figured out what her power is so quickly, that's gonna be to his advantage.
oh yeah, definitely.
My
I kind of, so, I kind of want her power to look for her to lose the power a little bit, yo, just because I know Shiggy would repurpose that power so efficient off on whatever so efficiently, and shit would get so hectic. I kind of like want that worst case scenario outcome a little bit, but I know it might not happen. But it'll be exciting to watch.
I don't really want I don't really want Shiggy to get her power, so I'm hoping like if she does go down, I'm just kind of like I hope she can do like a last ditch effort rule and just be like, yo, Shiggy, like she figures out how to make sure to make her rules apply and say like, yeah, this dude can't utilize my quirk going forward.
I feel like maybe that, but remember she has like she keeps one for herself, so she could probably have one where she could, I don't know, let's say teleport or some shit. Like she probably has like the escape clause, if you will, for herself should something go wrong.
Well, what she said she can only use like 3 rules at a time, right? And she's always using one
Two.
rule on herself.
One's always on herself, so she gets one really.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. So I don't know.
So yeah.
And plus, she's up in the air right now, flying on jets. It's definitely gonna be.
That was her entrance was actually pretty sick. I
pretty
liked that
badass, bro. Came in with the jets. Bro, when she turned the air solid though, I cannot lie. That was the coolest power move I've ever seen. And I'm just like, yo, that is kind of OP. Turning the air solid just to watch someone out of the sky, like.
I was like, her entrance was phenomenal. I'm looking forward to really seeing it animated.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Cuzzo? What you been reading and watching this week?
My Hero, JJK, Solo Leveling, just all that stuff I normally would read. One Piece, Black Clover. That's pretty much like my standard rotation. But I did fall off. I fell off hard for the past month, and I use I think it's called Manga Plus, or whatever. So it only saves the latest 3 chapters. So I was like, oh, I gotta catch up before I lose the chapter, and I gotta go find it somewhere else. So I was like, I had to binge read all of that. And that just showed me, I was like, wow, I really just fell off for a whole month. Like I haven't been reading anything. So I had a nice little catch up this past week or two. But nothing really new. I haven't really watched any anime in probably several months. Like I watched a little bit of One Piece to catch up, but like even though it's at the hype part in Wano, it's like I haven't just felt compelled to watch it, and I really want to, but I just haven't found that time yet.
You kind of sus for not watching shit in several months because you're on an anime podcast, so you gotta watch shit technically for us to be relevant. But as long as you've been reading, I guess it count. Like it matters. I too have not watched much anime. I think outside Odd Taxi and Scissor 7, I haven't really watched shit. But I have been on a reading binge like crazy. Manga has been my go-to since I started my new job back in May. I've been here for 6 months. Damn, time be flying.
Yeah, bro.
So I've been on a manga binge ever since then, and I would say I don't know if it's my favorite chapter of the week, but I really fucked with Undead Unluck this week. I don't know if any.
I have to still read it. I still gotta.
Okay.
Ooh, spoiler for me though.
Sunday before like last Sunday, so like it's been 2 Sundays I haven't caught up to the new like chapters and stuff. I should probably do that.
Yeah. I honestly hate getting caught up week to week because I know I'm gonna be anticipating that next chapter so bad. So I try to at least let it build up for a while, like especially with Undead Unluck, because it was still so new to me when I first started reading it. Only read like a few chapters, probably like chapter 20. So like Probably give it a couple more chapters before I get up to like start binging and get caught up because I don't want. I hate going week to week, man. With that week to week is so nerve wracking. I really want to just enjoy that nice long week. So I get like a nice overall picture. Like so, it's like I'm watching a story in my head as I'm reading this, not just like I'm to end on cliffhangers every freaking week. Because I know the story's gonna get good. I've been enjoying that too. As well as watching Platinum Man, that's fire. Brandon mentioned it, and it's definitely been a great anime. Been enjoying that watch.
You say you've been watching what now?
Platinum End.
It is good.
Don't let Tell and Polo hear you praise Platinum Men, cause they mad that everybody been praising that shit and it's not the best anime of the season. And I do
They
agree
still on
with
the
them.
86 train though.
For me,
I
I
don't.
think like I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't know you was talking.
Oh, man. I talked to Tail about his thoughts about Platinum Nin. Like, it's for me, it's too soon to call it the best because I think it has a lot of potential. Because remember, this is the same guy who made Death Note and Bakuman,
Hmm.
and I forgot the one before Death Note, but he's the one that the same mangaka who created those series is the one who created this one. So I think there's like a lot of hype and a lot of expectation behind Platinum Nin because of what his previous work has done. So I think it has a lot of potential. This is what I told Tail. I think it has a lot of potential to be great. It's just, I'm excited to see what happens next. But for me, I wouldn't call it the best because, like, we just really kind of starting out on a lot of series. So we don't know how if this series is going to end up following along with the manga, which I think a lot of us haven't read, or if it's going to go completely out the rails and people going to start bashing it. So it's too soon to say that any anime from this season, especially, is um the best anime. This is just my views on the things though. But I enjoy Platinum Men. It's not my
No,
favorite though.
I I agree with you, and I agree with Polo and Tail too. I think part of their take, or at least from what I took from when Polo was talking about his take, uh, part of what they were saying was the hype train is already rolling on Platinum Men. It's rolling at full speed, a la Demon Slayer, not to that same level that Demon Slayer was getting, but Platinum Men came in the game rolling, and it already had those credentials behind it. Accomplished mangaka that's already worked on other projects. The animation was looking on point in the trailer, so we knew it was gonna be good, and I think people came in with that hype, and it's kind of built off that. And for them, other projects have been better to them subjectively, uh, and that's why they pushing like the 80. Like I'm tired of hearing about Platinum Men all the time because these other projects out there. I just started 86 cause of Mike Check, but like I said, I'm not watching much anime, so I think I watched like one episode and then I didn't have time to watch more. So like 86 is just sitting there, and I haven't got around to what's the other one? I want to finish Blue Period. Um,
Oh yes,
I
I'm
I've been
plan
about
reading
to.
that one as well too.
I don't
I
know.
have been reading that. That's been a nice read.
I'm about 4 or 5 episodes into Blue Period, and Blue Period's been good. Has a person who went to art school, but just has a creative that's like making content right now. I Some of the lessons kind of hit me. I know I'm not exactly painting or doing art in that sense, but the lessons do hit me in a different way. So like Blue Period has really been relevant. And sometimes best animated season is not just based on like the technicals, it's also based on like what was most relevant for that time period and what was hidden, or the story was really smacking on. So uh, it is too early to call it. We just stepped into fall.
Mm-hmm.
And Platinum Men is getting like Mariah Carey Christmas songs. That shit, they calling it the best a month too
Already back
early.
in top 200s.
Yeah, bro, we already on top 100
Hey,
November
We're
we're
not
first,
top
skipping
100
Thanksgiving, bro. We
already.
not skipping
bro.
Thanksgiving. Slow it down.
We ain't even past
What
Turkey
we
Day
in
yet.
Turkey Day?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about that. I did have something to say about Platinum Man for sure. It definitely is on a very big hype train right now. But I would say in terms of like the animation, I think that's probably like one of my best parts I've been enjoying the most. Like just the way the animation looks, the visuals, the way that they animate the angels and everything. Because when
Yeah.
they show like the universe and the gods, I'm like, that is beautiful. I enjoy that, like visually just watching it. The
Hmm.
story for me has been kind of like slow picking up a little bit. Like you get the general gist of what they're doing, but then when it comes to like understand like why they're doing this, like why they pick these candidates, and why is it just because they want to kill themselves, or is it because they were just like they have an underlying reason for picking these candidates, and why did everyone have an angel? So it's a lot of questions that are still unanswered that I want to know, but so far it's
Mm-hmm.
been pretty good. I wouldn't call it anime of the year yet because Attack on Titan is coming still, so we're just gonna wait on that. But as of right now, it's definitely been probably like one of my favorites and watching the new season anime is coming out now. Cause I've been watching what's it the Little Father Son and I think Bakugan or Sakugan.
Sakugan is decent with the father daughter.
Yeah, Sakugan. Yeah,
I let
father daughter duo. That's
I let
pretty good.
I
I've been
let that
enjoying
shit
the
play at
dynamic.
work.
Yeah, it's a nice little like upbeat anime. Definitely, nice and cheerful, and definitely keeps my attention. Just like Platinum. And I haven't checked anything else for the new season, but I do want to check out. I think it's Ranking of Kings. I've heard good things about that one as well too.
Yeah, I heard about that one too, but I haven't checked it out. Sakugan, I let that shit play at work, but I haven't exactly watched it. If that makes sense, how you just let some anime run,
Mm-hmm.
but you plan to watch it, but then you end up forgetting that you
Get
was watching
distracted.
it, and now you working this shit, and you look up and it's episode 4, and you like, damn, I gotta rewind all this shit, or can I just figure out what's going on right now? G, I think if I pay attention for these next 10 minutes, I can probably decipher everything that's happened. That's
Yeah.
where I be at with Sakugan. So that whole shit went by, and I kind of like looked up on episode 3. I think it was. It was like, damn, I forgot I was even letting this play.
Let me ask you that. Let me ask you this question. How do you feel about the recent, upgrade, like more, mech anime coming out now? How do you feel about it? 'Cause I've noticed a lot of anime coming out now. They're very mech related or mech in a sense, like they have some mechs in them. So how do you guys feel about that?
I don't think they ever really stopped, and now that I followed Ash and I followed other mech people from the mech episode that failed that we tried to do, but the recording got burned. Uh,
Hmm.
I've been absorbed into part of mech Twitter, and I'm seeing that mech never really went anywhere. It wasn't on the popular side of things, but it's not like they
Hmm.
had really had like a diminished presence in the community. It just or a diminished presence, but it wasn't like the output of anime and manga and content that was coming for them had really slowed down. So I'm saying it didn't really go anywhere. I am excited that it's coming back to like the popular forefront because that means we'll have some budgets on some big mech titles. And as I get into more mech, that is my biggest critique. Like the stories be good and they be interesting, but the budgets be kind of low. Like, and it's not the animation I want to see from mechs. So it'd be cool to have more fluid, like high end animation. Because to like see Iron Blood Orphan with a bigger budget, similar to what Hathaway was looking like, maybe not that CGI. That shit would be dope as hell
Hmm.
to me. So I'm kind of excited for the re-rise of mech in
Yeah,
the
same.
Federation.
I agree because I definitely haven't can't remember the last time I watched an actual mech anime aside from Gundam back in years ago. So like seeing all the way they're redoing the Gundam animation now and Gundam series as a whole, I definitely kind of got my attention peaked a bit more, and I'm getting more interested in watching it because I never really cared. I was always like shonen, seinen, let's go with the called isekai, but like mech is definitely making a resurgence, and I'm kind of feeling it. The storylines always have been good, but like I never like enjoyed. I'm like I'm tired of mech, I'm tired of seeing robots fight, but the way they're doing it now, like I'm definitely intrigued.
I feel you.
I never really got into mech like that. Besides, like I watched a little bit of Gundam. Uh, just never really was there when I was growing up. Like it spoke
That's
to me.
crazy to me.
Lauren, did you ever watch
Yeah.
Code Geass?
Huh?
Did you watch Code Geass?
No.
It's absolutely wild to me that you didn't get into mech.
I
Yeah.
I I like. I mean, like I like Gundam, but I was never able to follow the story on Toonami because they would just show like they wouldn't show it sequentially. So I just never like really picked up on it.
Well, for
Like
me,
the stuff I saw, I liked it.
we
Yeah,
did
never watched Code
Legos, we
Geass.
did Connects. You have every bionicle figure like known
I'm
to man.
saying
Mhm.
It just feels like mech was just the obvious transition from everything that you was into
just-
to like step into
but like
anime.
you know how you're a product of like you like what was on. It wasn't on like that. It just
I feel that.
and
You
like
wasn't
even
see- you
now like
wasn't
as an
seeing it.
adult, I just never like got into it. But if Attack on Titan's a mech anime, if we pushing that, I loved it.
The more mech I watched, G, that shit got a lot of similarities with mech. And when I first heard that take, I hated it. I was like, niggas is idiots, bro. What is y'all talking about? But like the more mech I watch, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm seeing it a little bit. The storylines is kind of matching. Uh-oh. No, am
But
I
like to
falling over to
even
the dark
deviate a little
side?
bit, like for example, Ready Player One. That's a movie, obviously, but that's basically a mech. Just real life.
Oh,
I mean,
how
They do accept that because like Pacific Rim makes it into their culture.
Pacific Rim, even
Super
definitely the mech,
Super
though.
Sentai, like Power
Well,
Rangers.
I'm talking about it's a
makes it
mech in the
into
sense
culture.
that you have a person controlling
A
in Ready
robot.
Player One, avatar, and he has the full suit on, like as if he was in the gun and running around. He's just running around in a virtual world. So it's similar in that sense. It's not real or scalable, but it has that similar vibe. Like so, it's stuff like that. Like I like Pacific Rim, even though it wasn't the greatest movie. Apparently, I still enjoyed it. So like, I don't think that I would. I think I would like mechs. I just haven't felt like going into it for myself. Kind of. No, I think it is. I just haven't looked into it. It's just not something like that I was exposed to. So like, I don't have any type of intrinsic things besides like Bionicles and Legos that Eugene was talking about.
So since we are on mech right now, one thing that's like super important, or that seems to exist in all the mech, is really like these storylines is like really long and drawn out, and it weighs a lot of ethics and morals of the government versus the people, and who's really right in a situation. And that's probably like the perfect transition point into the main topic of today that Panda had brought to us. So we got a yay or nay. Since we are talking about morals of a hero, and if the morals or the actions or whatever makes a hero, I want to know what matters more in the title of a hero. Is it the results that come from the action or his intentions? So like if the hero intends good but ends up like killing everybody in the city, is he still a hero? Or if the hero like really didn't give a fuck and it was selfish and saves everybody in the city, is he now a hero even though he never set out to be a hero and he doesn't want to be a hero? Like what makes a hero a hero? Is it the results or his intentions?
I want to say,
and I really don't know if that's a yay or nay, but that's the question that was on my mind. It's not like a yes or no. It's a debate. Yeah.
I think it's ideally you like to say it's the intention, but I think it's the results.
Yeah,
Results.
You know?
I'm leaning towards the results too, because intentions, they definitely matter, because you have to have good intentions to want to be a hero. You can't just be out here just not caring about like what you're doing, like Hancock movie, just doing it to do it. But you definitely want to have like proper good results, like you're saving people and not just making it worse for the situation that you're in right now. You want to make sure that you're actually making the people feel safe and not just destroying everything.
Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, because I remember when I read Invincible, and there's a character in there who is a perfect case study for this, and he's like, well, I want to save the world, but to do that, we got to sacrifice this city or whatever. And like in real time, that sounds horrible, but like after the after effects, it wasn't that bad. It kind of turned out a little okay. Like
I was kind of sitting there like, damn, this shit really ain't. He wasn't right. That nigga was spitting.
But like his intention though was, well, I'm gonna off all these niggas, but the results kind of spoke for itself. Now I think the way you go about things also matters. Like. Because even homeboy Mark is like, well, I like what you want to do. Your intentions are there, but let's channel it so we get the results we want in a better way. And when they were working together, it worked out good. But when dude was like, well, you're slowing me down, I got to do what I want to do, it got a little weird.
Well, Ked is on the chat saying both. And
well,
since
but you can't, what I'm saying?
Hold on.
My bad.
But hold on. Since he's saying both, it applies to the topic that you brought up. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. And in actuality, the results of his actions ended up making life better for pretty much everybody else around that city. Like everybody else was living large and doing good, except for probably, everybody that got wiped out and the people that were immediately associated with those persons. So. If it is both, could we still look at that character like he was a hero? Because his intentions was good. He set out like, hey, I want to save the planet with this, and me wiping out this one city is gonna make it so we got clean power. We gonna have a better lifestyle for everybody around here. Motherfuckers is not gonna be worrying about missing out on food, like none of that. I'm finna save the world with this move. And the results. All of that shit actually happened, except everybody had to die in that city.
His execution was really flawed.
So does the good of the results outweigh the bad? And if we are weighing both, are we saying he's a hero overall?
See, I don't want to say he's a hero because I know how it goes, but like by my argument, yeah, he would be a hero. Cause like, but that's like where you're weighing the greater good. Whereas if you're Captain America, he's like, no, we don't leave folks behind, bro. Everybody comes. But like, where's that line drawn at? You know, because at a
Yeah.
certain point in time, like someone's gonna jump on a grenade. You know, for better or for worse.
And that's where we often find ourselves with the hero. And not all the time in shonen. You don't see it often in shonen because a lot of times in shonen is the hero can just push through and do his hero way, and somehow that shit works out. Even though you sitting there reading it, kind of like, there's no way, bro. There's no way all of this conforms and it works out positively for you. But it tends to go that way in shonen. So, but it like seinen, definitely in seinen, you'll have where you kind of have to weigh the outcome of the results, both ends, the good and the bad, and say what was for the greater good and what was it. Um, no, we can't. For the greater good and say, what was better. Panda, you want to weigh in? I saw you looking like you had something to say.
Yeah, I think going back to like your original question, GB, I think what I agree with the idea that results are exactly do matter because there's a saying that the road to hell is paved with good intention. Everyone's like a lot of people who in history who we may know to be not the best people it may have started out with good intentions, but sometimes those intentions don't play out the way they should and it ends up becoming something else entirely. Like I think what episode did we have with J Rock? We had like corrupted entities or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something starts out being good, having good intentions, and as time goes on, it plays out as something completely different from what was intended. So I do agree, like results do matter. However, speeding this forward to where we are now in this conversation, I think we have to redefine what a hero is. And so, like I googled hero, so it says a person who is admired or idolized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. And we have that noble part underlined. So in case, because I haven't read Invincibles, but I can only go based off of like y'all's example that y'all are using, this character that you stated, like technically he wouldn't really be a hero in the dictionary part. Like he might be anti-hero, sort of, kind of, because it's so easy to say a hero is someone who does good for the good of the people. But we know when it comes to life, it's not black and white. It's so many different shades of gray, if that makes sense. It's not to say it's hard to hold on to your morals, but it can be extremely difficult to keep them at the forefront of your mind when you're encountering so many of those shades of gray. So, and if you don't mind me going into why I picked this topic, if that's fine.
No, go ahead. We on the topic. Let's get it.
The reason I picked this topic was because I've been watching like all the DC movies and stuff. Like everyone knows, I love DC movies and shows, the animated movies, because they can't get shit right in the universe. But that's beside the point. I
Snyder Cut.
watched Under the Red Hood in its entirety, and I watched Superman versus the Elite. And those two movies kind of made me. I had thought about this for like a minute, but this really just made me fully think on it. And of course, we know in the episode in Under the Red Hood, for those of you who have watched, Jason Todd gets killed by the Joker, and he ends up being brought back to life. Spoiler if you haven't watched it. He ends up being brought
there.
he ends up being brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul, and he becomes the Red Hood trying to kill the Joker. And I understood where Jason was coming from because how he said, my issue with you is not the fact, he told Batman, my issue with you is not the fact that I died and you weren't able to save me. My issue is with the fact that you allowed this man to kill me and you didn't kill him in return. That's the first thing. And then with the Superman versus the Elite, then I forgot the main villain's name. Superman said you can't just kill people and call it justice, and the guy said that's what your government has been doing for years. And so these two things make me think of, especially when I think of around the DC comics, specifically Batman, because Batman slander is
Goat, you mean?
huh?
The goat, you mean?
I like yeah.
The goat,
Anyway,
yes.
my issue with Batman and mostly Batman, but a lot. I'm pretty sure this issue applies to other characters in comics and also anime. Not to say that Batman is the only person that does this. Not to say there isn't a version of Batman that kills people, but keeping to the Batman we know, Bruce Wayne, who his morals is not to kill people. Are you really an effective hero if you stick to your morals and don't kill people, but in doing so, you continuously allow, in this case, the Joker, as well as his other rogues, you continuously allow them, you take them to Arkham, you foil the plan, take them to Arkham, they get out, they have another plan, other people die or get hurt, you take them to Arkham, they get out again, and then they keep killing people, and they keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. Are you really an effective hero, and are you really getting the results you should be getting as a hero if you keep allowing a problem to persist and not cutting it off at the root?
So that kind of gets into the definition that you gave then, because in that definition you highlighted the word noble, and noble is you got high morals, and you stick to those morals. So for Batman, if his morals are I'm not killing, I can't get into killing, because that's not what heroes do and that's not what I do, him sticking to that by definition would maintain him a hero. If he were to go in and kill Joker, even if it meant that he potentially saves Robin and any other lives that Joker may take down the line, if he goes in and kills Joker, doesn't that remove his nobility, thus removing his hero title? And then we got the Harvey Dent line: you either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And I see your point. So let me kind of, and then I thought about this because I kind of thought about, well, he doesn't necessarily have to kill Joker, but he needs to put him in a position where Joker can't do anything.
Give him a lobotomy, break all his bones. Like what's
lobotomize, make him a quadriplegic. But of course,
why do you gotta be so violent? Why can't you just put him in
therapy? It's not even violent. Like I mean, and like we Batman,
tried that. We got Harley Quinn.
we got Batman is a hero in like the purest definition sense of where he is. But imagine me as someone who is living her life in Gotham, and also let's refer to Oracle. Let's refer to Barbara. She not only had her home broken into by the Joker. She was basically turned into a paraplegic. Then she had pictures taken of her after she was stripped down to her underwear and stripped nude and stuff. She was basically assaulted. Not only was I assaulted and traumatized, I have to live with the fact that I have to.
wrong?
It's room.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I'm sorry. I thought that was my audio or something. But
We
not
live,
only
bro.
not only do I have to live with the fact that I'd have to live with that trauma, but I have to adjust my life. It's as someone who can no longer walk. I have to make all these adjustments because this man who you put in jail broke back out and attacked me and also tormented my fucking father. So there's all this trauma and all of these physical and mental trauma that I have to deal with because you couldn't put him in a position where he wasn't going to be able to do that ever again. Now, Batman is a hero in that sense, but I also think that also, like, he's kind of failed the people around him a little bit by holding on to those morals. Now, I'm not shaming him for that, but I also put myself in the mind of someone who has to deal with all these repercussions, or the citizens who have to deal with the repercussions of keeping someone like that alive, or keeping someone like that in a position where he can still do the shit that he does. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Let me hear from Rome or Cuzzo before
You got a lot of feedback, Rome.
Yeah, what you got going on? I think your computer reading both your mics, maybe.
Yeah, hold on. Cause I just
Are you
And you sound like a robot. So.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cuzzo.
I think Batman's just a product of his time. Whereas like back in the day, because when he was being written, you know, we was like in World War II and stuff, and we had to be the good guys, and so we couldn't quote unquote stoop to their level. So like, you know, not killing was that sign of nobility, and by the same time, like, you know, Batman's always like, uh, I can never allow myself to be like them, and so it's like for better or for worse, that's him. So it's uh, one of those results things actually, you know, where like for him, his result is by me doing this and being this way, I can be a beacon to show other heroes that we don't do this. And so for the most part, it only affects Gotham, and that's his mess to clean up. But like, you know, on a macro level, like within the Justice League, I think like people see him and how he acts, and like, all right, kind of that sense of nobility permeates the Justice League, while at the same time it does give them an air of hubris. So it's that dichotomy where the give and take is what's most important. Like I would personally, I would maybe don't kill the Joker, but like DC needs better prisons or something because Arkham ain't it. Let's be real.
Arkham is not it. Them niggas lose 3 bodies every day.
They walk on.
You still got feedback, bro.
So sound bad.
Hey, unplug your mic, Rome, and then select the other one or something like that and plug it back in, maybe.
Or maybe just use the mic that's on the headset, bro. If you can do that. I do want to point to. So you brought up Oracle, and that's funny to me because Oracle is paralyzed, but Oracle still turns a dynamic hero career that comes after the paralysis. And one of the solutions that was brought up for Joker earlier was to like break all his bones or paralyze him, make him a quadriplegic, which doesn't seem like it'd be effective. Like anything short of killing Joker feels like it's not effective. And at the end of the day,
to make him a martyr.
It makes him a martyr, and even killing him makes him a martyr. The lobotomy definitely would. Like think of the Jokers and the rise of Joker-isms that would come after that, so to speak.
And Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond, the entire cult following. What'd you say?
Return of the Joker.
Return of the Joker, everything. Yeah. So like, think of everything that would come. So anything short of killing Joker, doesn't really solve the problem. And for that reason, I think that Batman at some level does have to understand that and know he would have to give up his morals to actually solve the Joker problem. Which brings me to
let Joker win too. That's really what it is.
And Joker will win.
Ego.
That's ultimately what Joker wants, is to break Batman and prove that heroes are not they're not a real thing. Which brings me to the next thought is that, do we need a hero? Like we talked about My Hero earlier. You have, for the manga readers, you have Deku that goes through his arc where like, fuck that hero shit. Like, this is what I'm on right now, and this is what the world needs. Even when we look at like a JJK where Gojo is positioned as a hero of the story, but he don't always have like hero personality or hero actions that he's doing. Like, his shit can be from a selfish point of view, but he still, to many that won't know everything that Gojo is doing, he still will be viewed as a hero. So does the public and the people that we're saving always need a hero to be a hero by the definition, or is a hero just literally what you need at any given moment? Because if like I'm getting attacked and somebody comes along and kill, you can't hear me?
No, I can hear Gene. I can't hear Rome.
Oh, I didn't know he was talking. Rome, how you was doing perfect and now we down bad in the middle of the episode?
He was though. He was sounding crispy.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what happened. If I'm getting attacked and Panda comes along and shoots the dude in his kneecaps, but then Buddy accidentally bleeds out from the kneecaps and he dies, Panda is looked at like
she's a hero
because she killed somebody, but like, she my hero.
Do I sound better now?
Yes, sir.
You sound great, bro. That was awesome. I don't know what you did, but keep that, G.
Okay. Go ahead, GB. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was a perfect time. I think I was done. I just said that Panda was my hero in that situation.
What up, Mount Dukes?
Um, yeah, in terms of what you guys are talking about, though, just to piggyback on what you were saying, GB, about the idea of do we need a hero just to be a hero?
Hmm.
I would say we do need a hero just for him, to have to uphold those morals to make people believe that there is something better for you out there that you can't. You don't have to be like the bad guy in every situation. You can have hold your morals and still be respected in that situation. As for the Joker, his whole ideal is just anarchy and just wants to break down the whole system. So for him, you can't really, look at him to treat him the same way as any other villain, because he's not just in like any other villain. He's the type of person who just wants to cause mayhem and mischief just because he can and wants to. And as you as a hero now, you can't constantly they look at Joker as a regular hero. You have to look at him like, okay, I have to find a way. Maybe I can change him. Maybe I can rehabilitate him, but you can't because that's nothing you can do about it. It's just how he is. But you being as a hero, Batman does it perfectly because he doesn't treat Joker as like any other villain. He treats him like a regular human being because he tries to go towards his innate sense of humanity. That maybe at the end of the day, this man is a human who just had one bad day and flipped the switch and went to being an evil villain. But in reality, you can always go back and flip the script and go back to being a regular human being if you treat him as such. If Because I think we are all a product of our environment in a sense, and Joker's environment caused him to be that type of villain. While in the same way, Batman he turned his trauma into something for the better good. So it's like as a hero, it all depends, or a villain, it all depends like how you rationalize your environment, how you rationalize how you see things. In terms of do I want to make the situation better, and do you want to uphold these same morals just so I can make everyone look at me as like not like as a symbol of peace as All Might may be, but like a symbol as it's like that I can still be good, and the world won't go to shit afterwards. Because that's all you really trying to do as a hero. You want to make sure that people believe you and look up to you as a symbol of peace, as a hero, but also not make them believe that they can achieve something greater than themselves. Because when you're a hero, you can't constantly just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, do what I want." You have to think about the people that are looking up to you as a whole, because you are now in the spotlight, you're in the limelight, and you can't just do what you want to do. You can't just break the door because they could not people look at you like, "Hey, maybe it's just like he's dark, he's vindictive, and is he really a hero? Is he really the person I want to look up to? Is he really the person I want my kids to look up to because he's, breaking the villain's legs, just keep him from doing good, which is not wrong, but in a sense, is that the way you want? Is that how you want your kids to, view heroes? You know, so when you're being a hero, you have to think of like encompass like entire, society as a whole, as well as your own morals. You can't just look at it as like, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do, but I want to do what I want to do for the better good of humanity as a whole, and not just for myself. Sorry, that was
I,
long
I
winded, but
I really feel like hero is just person to person at this point, based on the conversation. Because
Yep,
even if
yep.
even if I look
yeah,
at society as a whole, um, we pulling from a lot of comics in this particular this episode. But like, look at Spider Man. Even if I look at the society as a whole, like he's saving people, but a lot of society also don't fuck
they
with
don't like
Spider
him.
Man. Like they don't like him. They feel like he a vigilante, is dangerous to New
Hey,
Yorkers and
Jonah
shit like
Jameson,
that. You got J. Jonah Jameson has got the best slander campaign of all time going against this nigga.
the greatest.
And so Spider Man is out here catching hell for that shit, and people don't feel like he a hero. So even if the greater good of society is saying that Spider Man is a hero, it's still a sect of people that's like, fuck him, he a villain. And I feel like it's really who you talk to that determines what a hero is. Like you can be a hero at any given point in time. And I think we talked about this on a Toxic Boys episode. Maybe it was like the second or the third one. But we talked about you never know whose life you touching with some hero shit. You never know when you made a change in somebody's life. And it could be something as regular as you just living your day, and somebody is struggling with some shit as simple as like they can't walk well right now and they can't take their cart back to the cart style at the grocery store, and you just grab that bitch and take it over there for them, and now you their hero. Like you never know what type of imprint or what type of touch that you putting on people's lives, and what those ripples look like down the line because you did. It's the butterfly effect. Because you did this one little small thing, you've now changed the lives of hundreds of people. So indirectly you can become a hero multiple times over without even trying, which makes me really think like this episode was interesting that Panda was bringing, like what makes a hero. Um, are there any titles that are out right now where you think like the hero is kind of in the hero seat, but not, you're not really heroish material? Because
I
I feel
wanna.
that I've. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I didn't hear y'all saying
Um,
nothing, so I was finna go.
no, go ahead. 'Cause I'm still kind of thinking about it. I was just gonna talk my way through it.
So, um, one character that I've recently come into contact with that I read that's absolutely fire when I think about this topic is Denji from Chainsaw Man. And so
Still gotta read that.
you need to read that
Hmm.
shit. It's
You need to
fucking
read all of it
it's
now.
97 chapters of dope shit,
Yeah.
and it's really only one part of the story that just doesn't sit right with me to this day.
Was it the vomit?
No, I didn't like the gun devil. I didn't like how they handled
Oh
him
yeah, he
Oh,
at the
he
end of his shit.
oh,
yeah
I
he
didn't like
was
how they
kind of
did that. I like
that was that was painful. That was
uh
it was very anticlimactic, and I was kind of sitting there like y'all get it. Like it was kind of Madara feeling to me a little bit like
OP'd for what?
mad OP to just be written out in kind of a strange way. I didn't like that part, but other than that, that shit is gas. And I love Denji as an MC. I haven't laughed at an MC that much since like Vash and Luffy. Outside of Denji, I've only laughed at Vash and Luffy that much. Denji's fucking hilarious to me. I love that nigga. But
Show me that cities.
thinking about Denji as a main character, the actual part that hooked me into Chainsaw Man was this man's declaration of I don't give a fuck about none of that shit y'all talking about. I ain't trying to save no lives or
Ain't none of
nothing.
that shit.
And yeah, I ain't come here for the right reasons, but I like this fucking life and I'm ready to die for it. And he was just like, basically, I want good food, I want titties and bitches, and
Titties and bitches.
I'm trying to have the small things in life. Y'all can keep all that other shit. I don't need none of that. Like, I've lived in poverty my whole life. I'm here for pussy, food, and fucking sleep. That's all I want to do.
If I gotta be treated like a dog for it, fuck it.
That's all I want to do. And so throughout the whole story, these are his fucking goals. Like he's not like the other MCs that we have in any of the series where it's like, I want to be the Hokage. I want to be Pirate King is debatable because we don't really know that Pirate King is like for the good of the people, for the bad of people.
But
like,
Luffy's not. Luffy's for the good
but
of his crew.
Luffy is for the good of his crew. He's a fucking pirate at the end of the day. Like people mistake him as a main character that's like he's helping the people. He's liberating lands. Luffy don't. Luffy is going through asserting his will. And if anybody gets in the way of what he thinks a free life and a free pirate is, he fucking them up. That's all Luffy doing. We just seen it from his perspective. You could easily make Blackbeard the main character, and you see it from Blackbeard's perspective and be like, "Go Blackbeard," type shit. So like One Piece kind of debatable. When you look at like I want to be the Pirate King. I mean I want to be Hokage. I want to be the Wizard King. You have like these grand goals. Denji is not that type of character. Like bro is just literally like I'm from the gutter. I just want to have a decent life, and especially me during the pandemic and everything I went through financially and like everything that happened. I felt Denji was like I'm coming from this life. I ain't never had shit. I've been in crippling debt. I never saw a life where I wouldn't be in debt. I've done all types of strange bullshit for some change. And now you offering me the chance to fucking eat at McDonald's and sleep in an actual bed? Who I gotta kill? That's basically what he was on. And throughout the whole story, he becomes the hero to the people, and everybody's like worshiping this man, and he cares about us, and he's taking care of us, and he's for the people. The whole time, Denji like, where my food at, bitch?
Right, right.
thought of this like when you think about it, hero isn't usually something that is you give yourself. Hero is something that the mantle that people
Yep.
place upon you when you think about it. And sometimes I feel like when it comes to a lot of like heroes, people put their expectations and views and the idea of what they think a hero should be onto people. And when they don't meet those expectations, they turn on them, they talk down on them, they think they're not really a hero, they think they're a villain and whatever. And it's just like I can't think of like a good example of that, really. I mean, you just use Benji, and of course, we could call him. People could call him like, of course, people call him a hero, but he just wants what he wants. He doesn't think himself to be a hero. And sometimes I think that'd be the best type of not necessarily MCs, but characters, not people who outright, I'm gonna be a hero, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna save the day and do all this good shit because we know doing all that good shit doesn't work out the way we want to. But I think that's what happens with a lot of the idea of the hero. Like me personally, I don't like the idea of a hero the word hero kind of makes me itch a little bit, and I don't know why. Like it just makes me cringe because it just think of this person who's all for the good of the people and true justice in the American way and all this good bullshit. But we know that being a hero isn't. How do I put this in words that people can understand? It's just like it's just being a good person. If you see something wrong and just want to fix it, cool. You can just be a good person rather than wanting to be called a hero. And I think also it's not about doing it. You do it because you're doing it for the good of like you want to do it because you want to help people, and that's
You
fine.
mean selfless?
There's nothing wrong with being selfless and wanting to help people, but not for the glory of being called it. Like the hero shit is
Uh,
all
uh,
good in fiction and comics, but when you apply, and we see a lot of realism and real reality applied to like our media, it's like the hero shit really isn't as good and wholesome as we want it to be.
a hero like Booster Gold or who else?
Not Booster.
I mean, I'm trying to think of heroes that literally do this shit for the glory.
Booster
Like,
Gold's perfect.
Definitely
yeah,
glory,
like
man.
they do this shit for the glory. Like,
Half the niggas in My Hero. You saw what happened when Stain came on the scene.
yeah, I was trying to think of a specific hero from My Hero.
Mm.
But like, but I couldn't. Of course, the names don't come to my mind because I suck with names. But you know, heroes that do this shit for the glory. Um, are they less hero-y because they don't do it for the right shit? Like, what if they're a good person simply because they like to get praised for being a good person? Not really that they want to be a good person or that they care about like how you feel or what comes from them being a good person. Outside of like, I just want to be praised selfishly.
I mean, that comes back to like the conversation where if they're getting the results, like, hey,
Fuck
the
it.
results speak more than the intention sometimes. Because if they're actually, if they find a way to feed the whole world, and you just want to make money, be selfish on some praise shit, I mean, hey man,
I
I'm not gonna
think
get in the way of that.
I think also my issue with heroes and just and when I say heroes, like the idea that you should never meet your heroes, that saying, it's just people end up being, and this might be really pessimistic of me, but this is just me. It's just people end up being so shitty at the end of the day. And I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people have like shitty ideals or just shitty parts of their personality. I mean, everyone does. People are human. And it's just hard for me to like put anyone on that mantle of hero or someone I idolize. You should not idolize anyone, by the way. That's just my personal opinion. But it's just, I guess that's also why the idea of heroes and all of all that stuff kind of just bothers me because people end up having terrible viewpoints or just being terrible people at the end of the day. Like it doesn't negate what they've done, but it makes it hard to just kind of. Maybe I'm just adding more personal touch on my view of heroes, but this is just.
I don't know if they're always really terrible people. I think often, especially like social media and in the case of like My Hero with heroes, but if we looking at it a real world example we can look at is social media. And one thing that I laugh about with the secretary all the time is that social media has doomed the ability for a lot of people to make it in entertainment. Back in the day, we didn't have access to people in the same way that we have access to them now. So you really got away if you had like decent PR, and this person wasn't in front of the camera all the time. We had this picture, this photo of these celebrities, of these people, of who we thought they were, and it made it easy for us to kind of idolize them, as Panda said. All right, well,
So
all right,
GB,
Ron.
real quick, yeah, I was just about to say I'm peacing out, y'all. It's a good episode. Y'all be safe out here.
Enjoy yourself at work. Thanks for pulling up to the
Peace and prosperity,
podcast.
Rome. I'll see you, brother.
Can you give us an outro, a call sign?
All until next time, arrivederci. I'm gonna change it up
bro.
next year.
Put in the right spot though, Rome. That's all that matters. Put in the right spot.
Man, I never miss my spot. Don't listen to leak. I never miss my spot. I'm always on cue. Don't believe the hype.
No, bro. The tape says different every time.
Luckily,
Luckily, you have an all-star editor who edits that shit. It makes it sound like you on point every time. I got your back, D.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you.
I'm leaving this Arrivederci right there.
Bye, y'all.
Uh, so where was I? Oh yeah, on social media. So like Panda said, like we get caught up in idolizing these people. But now that we have social media and everything, they can expose themselves so easily. And so I think it's funny. I think it's funny when people, the same people that come down on like, so we'll use R. Kelly as an example. R. Kelly's already been exposed for the things that he has and everything, and even now social media, more stuff makes its way to light. Ti in the same way, and any other artist that comes out and they getting exposed and their shit makes its way to life, people act as if like that person
it's
is
the first time.
I'm like, look at all these other artists that you worship out here. Like, you don't know what they do in their private lives, and we stand a chance of being 40 years down the line, and you find out some shit about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Knock on wood, you know, you find out some shit about them that they was into and that they was doing, and then next thing you know, they getting canceled, and people looking at our generation like, how the fuck did y'all put them on a pedestal? They suck, like shit like that, because we don't know these people's private lives, or we don't know everything about them, and they may just do a real good job at managing that shit. So a lot of times when these heroes or these idols come out and people praise them, we praise them for who they present as and who we think they are, and not really who they are. And that's just a problem. And so back to the hero conversation, when you got the hero, you don't want to get caught up in who you think the hero is. Like, I think it's just really important to read the results, like we said earlier, and the intentions, if you can read the intentions, because intentions is always hindsight. Anybody can come out and be like, yeah, I meant to do that shit. Yeah. 100%. I knew when I picked the building up, everybody was going to be in that bitch, and yeah, we was all safe. Like, congratulations to me. So, intentions is kind of like hindsight, I think, when you're trying to get to the root of it. And it's a little bit more difficult, but if you're perceptive or wise about it, you probably can gauge intentions. And all we can do is be like, this person is 51% decent, so I'm going to just roll with them trying to be a decent human being because they're on the majority side, and fuck it. Because the last part of this conversation I want to talk about is, what do we do about villains that do good?
What do we?
Gotta let them do good.
I mean, what do we define as doing good though? Like, or like when it like so. I guess. Sorry, my question is like when you ask this question, what made them a villain, and what do you define as them doing good? Are they someone who used to be a villain but they're changing their ways, or are they someone who has been doing things that are technically good but are painted into a light of being a villain? I use a realistic example. So like the Black Panthers. So for me, when I was brought up through the school system, in my mind, I'm thinking Black Panthers are just completely violent and just blah blah, and they're bad. So you should be more like MLK if you doing civil rights and shit.
Damn.
Then years later, that's how it was painted for me. Like Black Panthers as well as Malcolm X, like they glorified a lot of MLK.
That's how it was painted for you too, Cuzzo?
Bro, we went in the burbs, bro. Come on, yeah. They wasn't trying to have us be on our...
It's always crazy when we talk, and I like the differences between city schooling and burb schooling. That shit be wild, but all right, go ahead, go off, both of y'all.
Thanksgiving was a big kumbaya fest. We didn't learn about Columbus till late high school, maybe.
That's crazy. Go crazy, Panda.
They painted MLK to be the person who you should the good Black you should aspire to be like. Yep. This is the good person that you like. They every Black History Month, because some reason always we ended up talking about Black people in American history on Black History Month. That's how it was painted for me in school. And they would usually antagonize or make villains of like Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party, like they don't be like these Black people. And then as I got older, you realize the Black Panther Party did a lot for the kids in their neighborhood. They made breakfast. They did so many good things. It wasn't necessarily, even if they did attack, it didn't matter. But like, it wasn't like, oh, they were just violent. Don't be like them. It was, they weren't with the peaceful shit. And I realized that that's okay to be like that, especially when you continually antagonize and, made into the villains of fucking society just because of your race. And so I think about that, like that's why I use that example to say, like, when you say a villain who does good, are they truly an actual villain, or has society made them out to be the villains of this story we call reality?
Mm. That's like the whole concept of history. Like whoever's on the right side of history is did
Good
good, and
guy.
whoever's on the wrong side of history did wrong. That's actually a plague in our society right now, where everyone is trying harder to be on what the mass says is the right side of history, rather than like critically think about like what's the right thing to do. Because what's the right thing to do and what's the right side of history doesn't always match up. Um, that shit about the MLK and everything is wild to me. Because like, yeah, in school MLK did get praise from like, I mean, white teachers and in the curriculum, but like outside of school, around my neighborhoods and everything, MLK borderline almost got slandered for like being too passive and wanting to integrate us with the white man. And it was about the Panthers and it was about Malcolm X. Like they had the right idea. Fuck white people and fuck 12 and fuck everything. Like we got to be violent. We got to take what's ours, type shit. And people would talk about MLK to me and just be like, that nigga just wanted to march and talk to people. And so I didn't really get that same experience as y'all. It's always like crazy just to hear the different experiences. Uh, Back to the villain part, like yeah, you can get painted. When I brought up villain doing good though, specifically, um, we can use like a Venom, or we can even do like
Does stain count, or is that not?
we can do Stain. We can do Stain,
Okay.
and I even throw Madara in there for fun. So for fun. So in the case of Venom, Venom does like a lot of bad shit. He Venom, but then occasionally Venom has a storyline where he does some good things. He
Good
saves a
shit.
life or intervenes in someone and feeds a poor person, like shit like that. On a higher scale, you could look at like a Stain, who was like the hero system and the society and how we idolize and worship them is fraudulent. Like all this shit is built on lies and bullshit, and I'm here to expose that shit. I'm finna fuck all these niggas up. Um, Stain comes in, changes the game, and so he's a villain by definition because of what he's doing. But like his intentions, he's looking out for the little guy and the people in the same way that Garu of One Punch Man comes along and he's the villain because he's hero killer, but that man was just tired of villains getting bullied. Like, why the hero always gotta win? Why y'all always gotta pick on the little guy who's just trying to like get by? And he realized something, that the villain not always the villain. Back to what Panda was saying, like it's how you get painted sometimes. The villain ain't always a true villain. Like the villain, even if we look at ourselves as black people, in poverty, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. You gotta steal food for your family, or you gotta get out there and slang a couple drugs or some shit, and you're not necessarily a villain because you want to be a villain. You just got to do what you got to do to get by. And so, in that sense, are those people villains by nature? And if they have been painted a villain, if they still do have empathy and compassion, and they save, like say they save some lives or they help people out, does that now make them a hero? Are they in between? Like, do we label it at all? Do we get rid of the labels of hero and villain? Just say like, yo, that's Warren and that's Panda.
I mean, sometimes it's like you're a product of your environment too. I don't know. I wouldn't paint the people who are brought up in certain circumstances where they become. I don't really paint those people as villains. Like, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Hero with
You
that.
you good?
So
Uh,
Aaron ain't do nothing wrong.
huh?
So Aaron ain't do nothing wrong.
Mm.
Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Oh shit. Oh. If we're using Aaron as an example, I can't say that he did any. His intentions weren't wrong, and what he did wasn't wrong either. If me as a person, my family, my people are in danger simply because of some shit that happened thousands of years ago, and the world is against us and will continue attacking us, regardless of what are we hoping of, regardless of us hoping to be peaceful with the shit. then why the fuck should I wait till they attack us? And I only got a couple years left, and technically I'm the last line of defense that my people have. That's how I think about it when it comes to Aaron specifically. That's why I don't disagree with what he did and how he went about it. Now we all know the truth behind those intentions. Like, is Aaron a hero? It depends who you ask. In the eyes of the world, no. In the eyes of some of his friends, probably not. But in the eyes of the people who want to live and don't want to be persecuted for some shit that they didn't do, absolutely. It just varies.
You also agree that Gabby didn't do nothing wrong, and she's also a hero.
Nah, it's fuck Gabby for life, bro.
That's cap.
I don't care, bro.
Okay,
I don't care,
That's
bro.
cap.
Hippocrates. I am Hippocrates. It's fuck that bitch to the day I die.
If you're thinking of if use my personal view on Gabby, I don't fucking like Gabby. But if we're asking me as someone who is thinking in a similar term as Aaron, because Aaron and Gabby are not the same. I don't care what anyone says, they're not the same, because Aaron has a personal stake into why he hates Titans and everything that has happened. He has a personal stake. We saw what happened.
Gabby's indoctrinated to that shit.
And Gabby has been indoctrinated to shit. But you also think of, is it Falco? The one who likes it? Falco has been indoctrinated the same way, but he also understands how to think outside of himself, outside of what he's been raised in. So I don't like fucking Gabby. Now, in some eyes of some people, Gabby would be a hero. The eyes of the people who got killed on the stage that night, like during the whole play and shit, she would be a hero. But in the eyes of Connie and Jean and Aaron and everyone else, she's absolutely deserves to be curb stomped, as we fucking saw.
And that's okay.
They didn't do enough.
Y'all dancing around it because it's not about if we like or don't like Gabby. It's just about could she be a hero, and it doesn't matter if other people see her as a villain.
She is.
That's what I just said.
By the criteria that Panda established, she's a hero and she ain't do shit wrong. She the last line of defense. She the last line of defense for her people. She the last line of defense for her people. She protected her people and doing what she got to do. If she don't fight these people and kill these people, they gonna keep killing her people, regardless if she indoctrinated, if she brainwashed, however the fuck you want to feel about her. If she don't get to killing niggas, they gonna keep killing her niggas.
And I think that's also my issue with the idea of the hero is just regardless of what you do, you're gonna be a villain in someone's story. Yep. For example, Gandhi was seen as one of the most peaceful representation, a symbol of peace.
The gold standard of peace, yeah.
However, a lot of people know that Gandhi was a racist against black people, beat his wife, and also was a pedophile from what I remember reading. Gandhi has a lot of shit, and we also think of Mother Teresa. If we think of Mother Teresa, a lot of people have seen Mother Teresa as like an idea of humanity and what humanity should be, but apparently that bitch was problematic too. And this goes back to this is why I don't admire, and I don't idolize people. You know, I had my favorite artists, but I'm just kind of like artists and actors, but I'm kind of like hesitant because what if they end up being a shit person? When I say a shit person, I don't mean they have some views that I don't agree with. That's not what I mean. But what if they end up being these people who hold these hateful ideas towards certain groups of people, specifically marginalized groups? Like, I can't fully support them if they do that, so that's why I'm hesitant to, like, fully be out here defending them on the internet and shit, like most people do. That's just me personally. But regardless of who you are, where you go, you're a villain in someone's story. For us who admire certain people in Black history, we may admire them, but a lot of them, I'm pretty sure they're a villain in someone's story. And I'm not just talking about civil rights, people who are in civil rights movement and everything else like in between, or abolitionists or whichever. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, prominent Black people, are problematic and are the villain in someone's story.
One of the first memories I have of learning or speaking about Gandhi was when I was younger, and this kid brought like this little picture or some shit to class. I think his dad or his uncle. That's irrelevant. Somebody drew the shit. He brought it to class and was like showing it off. We passing it around, and it was Gandhi. Like, they were like devout Christians. I used to go to Catholic school. They was devout, like really into Christians.
They
so like
fucking with him there, huh?
They wasn't fucking with Gandhi, and like the photo was like Gandhi putting this lady head through the cabinet in the kitchen, and it was like, "Shut up, bitch." And we was all passing it around because he said bitch in the in the photo. We we lame as hell as kids. Like, he said the bitch word. He said bitch. He said bitch. And but that's one of the earliest memories I have of Gandhi beating the shit out of a woman, like putting her head through the cabinet. And then I learned all the good deeds of Gandhi, and it wasn't until I was like an adult that someone was telling me like, Gandhi used to beat his wife. He used to give her what for. If I told you once, I told you twice.
Yo, you sounded wet as shit, nigga. I'll give you what for. But by that same token, how much do heroes and villains like cause their issues?
All the time.
For example, you see like, and not even like by actually doing stuff, but just by them being there. Like a perfect example is you have Superman. The only reason Joker's there is to show the world that Batman's not, who he says he is. And with Superman, Lex Luthor just can't stand the fact that a non-human is saving humans. He's like, nah, he can't be real. And so it's like, think of like the effort that could be done if they had to just decide to like work with him or something,
Well, it's the concept of Superman existing. For Lex,
right?
Humanity has to be the pinnacle, and we have to have the ability to reach the greatest point in the universe. His driving factor is to be the best. By Superman existing, it's now dwarfed. It's dwarfed the scale of what the human race is. So now Lex is determined to show with human qualities that we're known for: our perseverance, our diligence, and our intellect. He's trying to rise to another food chain level against Superman. So, yeah, it's like the show that Superman ain't Superman just because he an alien. Like, we can be Superman too.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough.
I love to have beef with Superman. Like, this is a completely different point. Not beef with Superman. Like, I kind of thought about this issue too when I watched Superman versus the Elite. It's just like, and this may be completely off topic. I'm sorry, GB, because I wanted to bring this up earlier, but we didn't get a chance. With Superman, and mind you, I want to preface this by saying I don't read comics, but like, if Superman is a hero, but we have these issues, like the issues with, like him saying Superman versus Lee, you can't just kill people and call it justice when the country he's living in, which is USA, has been doing this for decades and continues to do so. Like, are you only a hero? Not are you only a hero? Do you only want to be a small scale hero where you save the day, from villains and stuff? Or like, I don't know how to explain this. Like,
or should he be focused on bigger issues like global warming and
not necessarily global warming, because global warming, the cause of it at its source is humanity and big business. So when it comes to these big businesses and the government using its power to cripple and decimate like people who are like the bottom of the food chain, make the rich richer, the middle class and lower class poorer and everything. Like, why not take those issues and bring them up and change, like, not change the world, but kind of adjust the way society is. I don't know if I'm making sense. Am I making sense?
It does make sense. I think the thing, like, people do bring up the point that Superman has the power to do a lot more, but I normally disagree with that take because, like you said, a lot of our issues are humanity's problem. And so, even though Superman could solve the problem, without solving humanity, the problem will persist. It'll always come back, and it'll probably come back worse. So, the way I look at that is when people tell me, like, for instance, I had somebody saying, like, Superman can fix all of world hunger and global warming by doing X, Y, Z, and it's like, yeah, but humanity would just fuck it up again. That's like what I could fix somebody's alcoholism by handcuffing them and locking them up in the room and not letting them drink. But like, as soon as they still an alcoholic, as soon as I uncuff them and they get out the room, they right back to what they doing. It's not a true solution. So I don't agree with those takes when people say those things about Superman. I don't know if that's exactly where he was going. It doesn't sound quite like it. But that's normally people go with Superman. Like, he has all this power and he should be doing more. I'm kind of like, nah, I'm not going that route. Because, like, he would have to solve all of humanity for that to be a viable solution. And It's clear he can't do that because he's Superman, but he's not of men.
I
Lex
think
Luthor has a better chance of doing that than he does.
true. And I think with your alcoholic example, my solution would be for cuff them, no, take them to rehab, detox, therapy, look like find out the issues behind alcoholism because every vice has a deep underlying issue, whether that's trauma, whether that's trauma, past experiences in childhood, whatever, whichever, specifically trauma, or mental health disorders. So my solution is like not Superman just forcing global like fixing world hunger, but also being in support of certain groups that he knows are trying to make those changes, like having that backing, because Superman is basically a celebrity as well as a hero. So backing those groups he knows are trying to make the change for the best, like protecting them as well from government superpowers who are trying to kill them, because as we know, government will kill you if you're making too much racket and trying to change things, especially if you're trying to change things for the better for people that aren't 1% government officials.
Human beings cannot follow Superman in that way, and that's why I say like Lex Luthor has more of a power to do that than Superman ever will. The same way human beings can't follow God and they stray from God because we have the excuse that I'm not God-like. I can't be God. And if Superman pushes these agendas and is like everybody can do this, I got this technology from Krypton, or like we backing this, people won't follow Superman that same way because it's too high of a gap, like it's too high of an idol. If you bring a Lex Luthor in who's actually a man, and he super smart, he a billionaire and all this other shit, but he's a man. That's more touchable for people. In the same way, like I could look at an artist that's on stage at the open mic and go like, hey, I could do that. But if I see Kanye on stage, that's a little bit farther for me. So I might not have that same thought like, hey, I could do that.
So like also like I see what you're saying and you're not wrong. I also say like Superman support another billionaire who is more benevolent and charitable and stuff like that. I'm not saying idolize Superman, but like Superman gives his support to someone who's more realistic, not necessarily on his level, but still a man. Like
who Batman, Bruce Wayne?
The GOAT.
I guess we could use him as an example.
That nigga sucked too.
I don't. He does, but I can't. I can't. I don't know because I'm not gonna say Bruce Wayne doesn't do shit for people in Gotham because people bring up his charitable donations and I don't read comics, so I'm not gonna touch that one. But maybe Bruce Wayne would be an example, or some other benevolent one who's actively doing things like donating to different funds, providing, like, resolving areas where there aren't a lot of opportunities for people to make it out of that area. Like, more lower income areas, more areas that are poor. Like, to start off small. I'm not saying Superman's going to be able to fix all of that shit because he's Superman and whatever the fuck. But, like, just redistributing power and finances and stuff and giving his support to someone who's able to do that, like a billionaire, or like someone who has a lot more money to be able to do that. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but it's better than saying, I'm a superhero, I save all these people, but I'm not trying to attack the root of the issue in some way, shape, or form. If that makes sense?
No, I feel that. I'm gonna start transitioning to the end of this convo. I do 100% feel that. The thing I took from that and most of this convo is what makes a hero is just being a hero when you can be a hero. What we talked about in this whole convo is it's subjective. It depends on how the person is gonna view you. It's not always within your power to be the type of hero that's needed for a particular situation, and just as easily as you can be the hero, you can be the villain. You never know, like how the results of your actions are gonna turn out. Because like intentions can be hero-like and can be noble, which is the definition of hero, but the actual execution and the results have to keep those same dynamics. And if they don't, then you can easily be a villain or find yourself somewhere in the middle. So,
being a villain in someone else's story, as long as you are doing what you feel like needs to be done, that's for the good of others.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always about, I have to be viewed as a hero. I have to be this. No, I'll be a villain. That's what I've gotten to in a point in my life. I'm fine with being a villain. I know I treat the people I care about and other people will respect. If I'm a villain, someone else's story, that's cool.
I mean, I think we all a villain in somebody's story.
Some people be upset that they're a villain and don't want to be a villain because they're afraid of having that title. So they try to save face and make them they want to be a hero. I don't really give a fuck about being a hero. I'm just me. And if I'm a villain in someone else's story, that's cool too. It's also a pride thing. That's what I meant to say. It's a pride thing too.
Oftentimes, the people that really consider you a villain don't have much relevance in your life anyway. So we moving forward. Any last comments before I transition out?
No, I'm straight.
Okay.
Heroes
Shout
are
out.
overrated.
What'd you say?
Heroes are overrated. The idea.
Shout
To
out
me.
to. Oh, you want me to say congratulations for bringing the idea?
No. I just want to say to me. It's
He's saying, in her opinion, heroes are overrated.
Oh, heroes are overrated. We don't need them. Y'all just need me. I'm the only hero you'll ever need.
Fuck out of here, nigga.
I'm Big Brother Yanko, nigga.
I know you're gonna say that shit.
nobody calls you that shit. Literally nobody calls you that.
I call me that. It's my username on Twitter. Literally, every time you tweet me, Twitter calls me that shit. It's real.
Okay.
Valid.
If you type in Big Brother Yanko in Twitter next to the ad,
Mhm.
it'll bring me up.
Go for it. End this episode. It's okay.
So we finna close this episode up. I want to say shout out to you niggas and shout out to Phantom Rome, who's no longer with us right now. He had to go to work, for being a part of our first private live stream. Like I said earlier, we want to keep this going for future episodes. I hope that this is not difficult for me to produce in a process. We'll see how that goes. I'll get back to you niggas on how easy or how hard this was. That is it for this episode on Heroes. We talked about a lot of things. We already summed up the points. I want everybody to think about them being a hero today. Be a hero to yourself. There's been a lot of personal things going on in my life right now, and a lot of us don't take the time to really be heroes for ourselves, and we got to do that shit more often. Consider yourself and think about what a hero would be to you right now, and be that person today. Even if it's as simple as going to Trader Joe's and getting you some peanut butter chocolate JoJo cookies. Them bitches bussin'.
I'm about to see.
I'm taking myself out on a date this weekend.
Congratulations. I never would have thought I would have heard that coming from you.
Yeah.
I'm proud
We
of
can
you.
talk about it after the pod.
You know what they call that?
What?
Growth.
GG, bro. I
Hit you
really
with that.
So that's it. That's everything we got for this episode. Shout out to our patrons once again. Shout out to everybody that supports the show. We finna get the fuck up out of here. That is all I really got for you niggas. Yeah. The outro is happening. And until next time, we out.
Super.
Bye.